Happy Friday, everybody. I have my 80/20 project with Miss Natalie Dill up on my channel today. Apparently, I felt like waving to you twice. I'm going to be working in my Me, Myself, and I Traveler's Notebook. I'm going to be using these amazing, gorgeous Scrap and Happy Studio Flair. They're going to be a big part of my design and my layout, and I love them. I will link them up below for you. They have all the little icons from all the social media. They match my Love List collection from Tracy Reed. My Principal collection. So super excited to be able to pull that out and mix and match them with these epoxy Flair. I'm going to be working on the prompt today that is my social media. So I'm just going to go through. I knew that I wanted these little likes. I knew I wanted to make them a huge part of this spread and create with them. So I'm going to use one side that's patterned with all of those, and then I'm going to kind of flick through the patterned TN pages. I'm going to go with this kind of light gray one because I know I want to put lots of color and fun stuff on top of that. So that's going to be my spread together. I am going to go ahead and washi tape my spread together, and that way I can work on it as a full spread, kind of see how everything goes together between the two different sides. Go ahead and pull out a couple of stamp sets from my stash. I have this really nice tech one from Ali Edwards that I thought would work well. And then I also have this one from Feature Craft. Now I know this stamp set is not available anymore. I used it recently, and it was still on my desk, and I thought if I can spell social without it like fitting nicely on the tan spread the way I want it to, then I'm just going to use this because it was right there. It's an awesome stamp set. It's nice and bold, and I thought it would work really well without me having to kind of dig into my alphabet stamp stash. I'm going to stamp my social media just in the bottom right hand corner of this layout. So I'm going to use I'm using my Catherine Puller Midnight ink today. I keep kind of going back between the Altenew Permanent and this one. I think I'm getting the hang of the Catherine Puller, but I still don't like the way that it stamps very kind of delicate images. So while I'm getting the hang of it, and I love how it stamped this bold black alphabet on this page, I still think I'm going to have both those stamps in my stash because I don't like the way it stamps a very kind of intricate kind of line art, flowers, or things like that. See how bold and amazing it is, but it doesn't work that good with every stamp. So I'm kind of on the fence still, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up just having both of them in my stash and using them for different stamps and different purposes. And that's fine. For as much as I stamp, totally fine. Okay, so I'm going to grab this. I'm going to put my alphabet stamps away now. I'm going to grab the Ali Edwards Tech stamp. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp this little phrase here that says, home is where the Wi-Fi wow, I'm totally messing up that word. Connects automatically. And then I'm going to stamp tech on the top left corner of my page. So this is a story stamp from Ali Edwards. I do not have a subscription to story stamps. I don't have a subscription to story kits, but I do subscribe to her emails, and every so often she does a nice sale, and it's called like the Stories Revisited sale. You got to catch it early. It sells out quick, but when I get up about 8 or 9 and I check my emails and there is one of those sales, I've been able to get a lot of story kits and story stamps, and I really do like them, but I think it would be overwhelming to have a monthly subscription. Just my personal opinion for my scrapbooking and the amount that I would use it. So I have these 3 screenshots. One of them is my YouTube channel, like the front page of my YouTube channel that shows all of the subscribers. One is the front page of my Instagram account, again, just kind of showing my followers and posts and all that kind of stuff. And then the third one is the Rediscover Your Stash Facebook group, which is my main Facebook place that you can find me. So I am going to go ahead and mat all of these in some 4x6 cards. I'm going to pick a couple that I thought contrasted nicely both with that background paper and with my screenshots. Okay, so now I am just going to go ahead and I'm matting those 3 photos, and I'm going to kind of stack them underneath that stamped tech that I put at the top of the page. And that's where I'm going to put those screenshots, and that will show my 3 main social media spots that you can find me. And here's where the 80-20 part of my process is going to be. So I have these Scrap and Happy Studio flares, and I have all of these little fussy cut stickers, die cut shapes from the Loveless kit. And I want to make the other page, the right side of the page, chaos. Because let me tell you about how I feel about social media for a minute. Of all the stops on social media, of all the places that I have, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, my Facebook group, true story, my favorite is YouTube. And my followers on YouTube and my subscribers on YouTube. I say this all the time. You guys are the best set of like cool people ever. And I know that some of you are in those other places as well, which I love you there too. Don't get me wrong. I find that Facebook and Instagram, especially Facebook, is like posting there. I try really hard to do a post and run because scrolling just makes me twitch. And the same way kind of on Instagram, there are a couple people that I do like seek out to look at what they've been posting. But yeah, I get very kind of overwhelmed, and I kind of get I don't know what to call it, maybe overstimulated or and it's just, yes. So I wanted to kind of use this second page to artistically demonstrate how kind of chaotic all the social media is. With the exception of YouTube. I don't know why. YouTube, just, I'm okay with it. I do my thing and I watch other people on YouTube, and it's a much calmer place, I think. Personally, it's just me. Definitely not everybody, I'm sure, feels that way, but I do. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm using the epoxy flares that go with, so I have one that's like Facebook, one that's Instagram, one that's the little YouTube symbol, one that is like for email, and then one that is for Pinterest. I do really like Pinterest too, and I am on Pinterest. I think the name of my Pinterest account is Shy Scrapper, all lowercase, all one word. It's been, Pinterest was one of my very first ever social media platforms that I started with, and I do really like Pinterest. I don't even think of Pinterest as being a social media platform, but I do really feel, and I love, don't get me wrong, love my Facebook group, but Facebook, like as a scrolling news feed, I'm not a fan of. So you can see here that I've got this chaos, right? I have just this love-hate relationship with social media. And so I wanted to give that impression that, I love my subscribers, I love my followers, but as a whole, these platforms are really chaotic. And I quite often tried to take mental health breaks from both Facebook and Instagram, but not YouTube. So that's good for you guys, I guess, right? Okay, so I'm just going to move everything around. I'm going to make this kind of chaotic collage of all of these little hearts and the epoxy flares and the little like speech bubbles, all those things. And I'm really happy that I did this because you can tell here my title doesn't get lost. It's so big and bold and black that it doesn't get lost in amongst the chaos. Once I'm happy with that chaos, I'm just going to go ahead and start sticking all of these images down. And the beauty of this is I just used all of these beautiful, beautiful images and die cuts from Tracy Reed's Printable Loveless collection. And if I feel like I'm getting low on them, or I feel like I'm running out, I can just print more. Love that. That just makes my heart happy. Like every time I use the Printable collection, I tend to be more like, use it, make it the way you want it. Don't try to like hoard it, because if you want more, you can print more, which I think is so awesome and great. Just a reminder, when you put down your Scrap and Happy Studio epoxy flare, be sure to just use your tape runner. Don't use anything of a wet glue, because it will warp them or make them yucky. You don't want that. Once you have stuck and plunked everything, I'm just going to go ahead and trim off the washi tape, anything that's kind of hanging over the edge of my pages. And then I'm going to grab my book. Again, for this particular project, my Me, Myself, and I book, I'm using a ring bound traveler's notebook from Journals of Life stamp set stamps, which means I can make this notebook a chunky monkey notebook, and I can make it as big and thick as I want. In fact, those ring binders are so big and chunky that you actually kind of want to make your book chunky, because it'll lay better and it'll look nicer. So win-win. And that is where we are going to call this one done for today. Thank you so much for joining me today. Make sure you head over and check out Natalie's scrapbook page. She did a 12 by 12, and it's gorgeous, and you don't want to miss it. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.